Well, hey guys, and welcome back to another Big Sister Chat with Odd. Or I guess it's not really a Big Sister Chat, because based off of my demographics, most of you guys are right around the same age as me, so it's sort of like Twin Sister Chat, or Middle Sister Chat. Anyways, I'm here and I want to talk about something, and that thing is birth control. If you aren't familiar with my channel or what I do in these videos, usually I discuss sex, relationships. Birth control is definitely one of those topics that falls under the Big Sister Chat umbrella, so I figured I'd bring it up today. I am a 25-year-old woman now. Yes, mid-20s. I am no longer in my early 20s. So I have been experiencing birth control, or the lack of birth control, for a long time in my life. I think it's important to talk about everyone's journey with birth control and how different people react to birth controls. And I also think it's great to emphasize how important it is to be active in the decision-making aspect of choosing a birth control. So today, I have partnered with Agile Therapeutics to talk a little bit about birth control. Yeah! I recently joined their So Done Club, which is a place that's meant to empower women, help them learn about more options when it comes to birth control, and help them take an active role in their contraceptive decision making. If you'd like to learn more about the So Done Club or join it alongside me, you can check out their website, which is birthcontroldonemyway.com. Yes, ma'am. The website also has like a billion different amazing articles all about birth control and different types, so you can do a little bit more research on there. It's a good place to go. And real quick reminder, obviously, I am not a doctor. I do not have a medical degree. This is all my personal experience with birth control, and all of these questions that I'll be answering and the discussions I'll be opening up are things that have been taken from my Insta stories from you guys, which is really, really cool. So let's get it poppin'. Let's go. Let's talk about birth control. Question number 1, is it normal to change birth control throughout your life? From personal experience, absolutely. I would argue that birth control is much like a romantic partner. Occasionally things work out for a long time, and then you notice something that makes you a little less happy than you would like to be in your birth control, and you realize that you need to break up with your birth control and move on to the next. You know what I mean? Your needs change over time. Your body changes over time. You cannot be expected to stay in the same birth control your entire life unless you're literally a unicorn person, which God bless ya, I wish I was in your position. The first form of birth control I ever used was condoms, and then I moved on to the pill, and I've had the ring, I have been back on the pill, I've been all over the place. So don't worry, if you don't find something that you love right away, you're probably like me, and you might need to shop around a little bit more than you think you do. Question number 2, would you ever rely on condoms for a time? Absolutely, yes I would. Obviously, it's an incredibly personal decision for someone to make, but I love condoms. They're great. I like the idea that it puts the onus on your romantic partner rather than yourself to be worrying about birth control. Condoms are also a great secondary contraceptive if you're already on the pill or you're already on the ring and say you're ovulating or you just want to be extra careful. You can use a condom as a secondary form of contraceptive as well as a primary form of contraceptive. Personally, I feel comfortable using condoms as a primary contraceptive. I would say condoms are popular for a reason. They protect against STIs and STDs. They're readily available everywhere, basically. Anywhere that you can buy a pack of gum, you can usually get condoms, which is great. And they're a non-hormonal form of birth control. So I would not belittle the good work that condoms do in our society. Question number 3, and this was a question I got a ton on my Insta story. How to approach the fear of weight gain when it comes to disordered eating and wanting to get on birth control. I saw this so much in my Insta stories, I cannot even tell you. Personally, my opinion when it comes to taking birth control when you have a history of disordered eating, I was there, I have been in that place. I have probably had disordered eating my whole life. Only recently have I really sort of gotten it completely under control, for the most part. But I would be lying if I didn't say that when I was in high school and originally thinking about going on birth control, weight gain was not a factor. Of course it was a factor, because we live in a society that constantly makes us afraid of weight gain. And that's a big stigma with birth control, that you are just going to gain 15 pounds on birth control. That is not always the case. In my personal experience, I never had a crazy weight gain with my birth control. That is not to say that that couldn't happen to you by any means. If I were to theoretically go back on a birth control that had the potential of a side effect of weight gain right now, I would throw my scale away. And that sounds kind of crazy, but I'm kind of an advocate for people throwing away their scales anyways, because I think they're an absolute useless way to tell how healthy you are. And I think that personally, as someone who based their worth off of their weight for so many years, off of an arbitrary number, I would decide if I was gonna have a good day or a bad day based on a number that I saw on a scale. I realized how toxic that was and just got rid of that scale. I cannot recommend that enough, and especially if you're going to be trying out a new birth control, 1 billion, million, thousand, trillion %, I would talk to your GP or your doctor about your birth control and your history with disordered eating, because they are the people who are going to be able to tell you the best what a good course of action is. Question number 4, how has birth control positively impacted your life? This one is very easy. I've never been pregnant, y'all. I have not had a pregnancy scare. I have had the luxury of being able to focus on myself and my career and my relationships with my friends and my family, rather than having to worry about being pregnant, which is also why I would say 1,000 billion %, if you have questions about any specific birth control, I would check out the website that I talked about earlier, because they have so many different articles all about different birth controls that you can try out, whether it's the pill, the patch, the jab, whatever it is. You can check it out on that website and learn a little bit more. If you're thinking about either getting on birth control or switching to a new one, it's a great place to use as a resource. Question number 5, what do you think about birth control for men? Should it be their responsibility? I mean, in an ideal world, this would be a 50-50 experience, much like actually conceiving a child is a 50-50 experience. However, that is just not the case in our modern world. Most birth controls, in fact, I would say 95% of birth controls, if I'm being hyperbolic, are developed for women, and they are excluding men out of the conversation, which, to be honest, I wish that wasn't the case. But unfortunately, it doesn't feel like there's enough funding or enough fire behind the research that we would need to develop successful male birth controls, which is really funny, because you would think if you have a gun and you want to make it non-lethal, you would take the bullets out of it, right? However, that's why I'm a huge advocate for condoms, because for once, it's the man's responsibility. Now, when it comes to, say, like a hookup where you're not necessarily sure if someone has condoms readily available, bring your own. Always have your own supply, because I'm not about to trust anyone with my birth control. However, bonus points if they bring it to the party instead of you having to supply everything. That being said, I think it's really important to educate women and people who can become pregnant so that they have power and a seat at the table when it comes to birth control discussions. So I don't want men to suddenly have all of the power when it comes to birth control. It would just be nice if they took a little bit of the responsibility. Question number 6. Should I ask my parents about my birth control, or should I just go straight to the GP? Not everyone is able to have open and honest discussions of this nature with their parents, and it would be ignorant to assume otherwise. So I would say if you're fearful at all to open those discussions up with your parents, talk to your doctor. Make an appointment and have a really open, honest conversation with your doctor, because that's the best way that you're gonna get anywhere. I did that at 17 years old, and I'm so glad I did, because I would not know as much about birth control as I do now if I didn't start that path. Keep in mind that also, you don't have to go on a birth control just because you are considering being sexually active. Birth control can help in a myriad of ways. I know so many people that control their acne via birth control, that have less severe cramping or periods because of their birth control. It can do so many different things. That's why I think it's important to talk to your doctor about your reproductive health in general, rather than just about birth control. And question number 7, our final question of the today. What was your experience when you totally went off birth control? So as I said, I have been on and off birth control or using some form of contraceptive since I was 16 years old. I went on the pill when I was 17. I used the pill for a little while. I think I used the pill for like 2 years. And then I actually used the sponge for a little bit, went a bit old school, which was, I don't know, not something I would really recommend. And then I started using the ring, and I found that I really, really enjoyed the ring. I used it for 2.5 years solidly. The only reason I actually went off of the ring was I switched my healthcare, so the ring became prohibitively expensive for me, which sucked. So I went off birth control, and we just started relying on condoms, and I was really, really happy with that. To be honest, it was nice to just sort of give my body sort of a clearing out period and see how I feel when I'm au natural. That does not mean that I am not considering getting back on some form of birth control at some point. I would definitely consider getting an IUD or getting back on the ring or something along those lines, because I did really enjoy just sort of not having to think about it. That being said, if you are considering getting off your birth control or switching your birth control or really doing anything when it comes to changing up your contraceptive method, I would talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. That should be the mantra of this video. Talk to your doctor. They want to have a chat with you. And I will be doing the same if and when I decide to go back on a birth control or switch over to something else. Yeah, I'll definitely be talking to my doctor about that. Woo, boy howdy. Well, that was fun. Did you guys enjoy that little birth control chat there? I truly believe that having these discussions online, as trivial as they may seem, are really, really important for our future generations of people who would potentially be on birth control or be considering contraceptives. I think it's really important to just put this kind of stuff out there on the internet. So I would love to hear what you guys think down in the comments down below. Also, definitely check out So Done Club, because I'm telling you, if you have questions about birth control, they have so much information for you. So yeah, that's birth control done my way. And like I said, I'll put that right here, and also it'll be in the description box for your beautiful faces. I hope this was as fun for you to watch as it was for me to make and talk about. It's lovely to be able to open up these conversations with you guys, and I hope you guys are having a lovely day and week and month, and maybe even a good year this year. That'd be pretty nice. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!